Well, we're back right here in the studio, coming to you live from KTV2 studios at the Ministry of Information. And we have with us right now our first guest. We have with us Yusuf الطاهر. And Yusuf is an assistant auditor in the company's audit department at the State Audit Bureau of Kuwait. Yusuf, welcome to our program, Hello Kuwait.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you, Tariq. And I'm very grateful to be here at KTV2.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you with us this evening right here on Hello Kuwait. And regarding the Financial and Administrative Corruption Seminar, which we shown earlier in the first report, which has concluded, maybe you could tell us a little bit, Yusuf, about the seminar, its objectives, and how it went.
Okay, so the seminar was conducted last week. It was 3 days. Before I dive directly into the objectives and what the seminar was about, I'll tell you how we got to the stage of the seminar. The seminar came in with a plan that was signed between the State Audit Bureau of Kuwait and the China National Audit Office back in 2016 for 4 years. So each year there was a plan to conduct a seminar based on different topics.
So each year a seminar was held, Yusuf?
Was held. So now we're in the third stage, and in this stage, in relation to the seminar that was conducted, we were talking about administrative and financial corruption.
That was the seminar that was recently held, and we're going to be continuing with our guest very shortly. But first off, let's take a short break. Stay tuned. Well, we're back in the studio, and if you're just tuning in, our first guest that we have with us this evening, we have with us Yusuf الطاهر, and Yusuf is the assistant auditor in the company's audit department at the State Audit Bureau of the State of Kuwait. And Yusuf, before we went to that break, you were talking about the series of seminars which started from 2016.
Yes,
tell us more.
Yeah, they started from 2016 to 2020. Each year they've been conducting different seminars based on different topics. The topic this year that was conducted in Kuwait was about administrative and financial corruption. The objective of this seminar was to exchange information, ideas and methods used to detect different types of corruption, whether administrative. By administrative I mean on a managerial level, and on a financial level we could say like fraud or bribes, or the manipulation of financial statements.
So it was a successful seminar this year?
Yes, it was a very successful seminar.
Okay, and this has now been going on for 4 years, Yusuf, correct?
Yes.
And it's with your counterparts from China, correct? Tell us more about that collaboration.
Okay, that collaboration started back in 2016 agreement. The aim of the agreement was to increase the cooperation between audit institutions globally. So as an initiative, the State Audit Bureau of Kuwait cooperated with China's National Audit Bureau in the exchange of information and relevant data in different cases to gain and exchange experiences.
Okay, so the first off, it's like in Kuwait, then rotates to China, Kuwait, and back and forth?
Exactly.
All right, then. Well, that's also very good, I think, to each delegation traveling to each country to exchange ideas and see the culture and so forth.
Exactly, that's what we call a peer-to-peer review, where we have auditors from Kuwait when they travel to China. They have an overlook of the systems and the way they work, and they might sometimes be able to comment on them. And the same China does when they come to Kuwait.
Amazing, good to hear that. So tell us more about the topics that the seminar revolved around, please, Yusuf.
Okay, so the topics that revolved around during the 3-day seminar was divided into both practical and theoretical points. In the theoretical points, we talked in general the concept of financial and administrative corruption. we talked about the negative aspects of such, which include like types of political and social and economical damage to a country. In relation to international standards issued by other auditing firms that we use as methods and tools to detect corruption.
So did the seminar, the conclusion, result in any recommendations?
Yes, we had a few recommendations for China that we saw that they were intrigued with. So we provided with them the data and information that they needed. They included the likes of corporate governance, which is the governance structure of either a company or a public institution, where you have like a CEO, a manager, and the subcontents of them. Another point would be continuous education, which is one of the new strategy objectives within the State Audit Bureau of Kuwait.
Yes.
And we even advise them on a department that's not very special, but it's a department we use here in Kuwait. That's our first line of defense against corruption, which is the pre-audit department, where they audit agreements or contracts before they are signed by any public institution in Kuwait.
Well, the State Audit Bureau of Kuwait's doing a fine job. Should be commended for all your great work that you're doing. So tell us about the role in combating financial and administrative corruption. Tell us a little bit more about that, please, Yusuf.
No, okay. I'll be glad to. It's divided into approximately 4 levels. There are, starting with our mandate. Our mandate in 1964 says that if an auditor suspects corruption in any public institution, with the right amount of evidence enforceable by law, they can enforce the public institution to conduct an investigation on the matter. Moving into inside our institution, we start with our pre-audit department as our first defense, as I just explained. They review any contract being signed or going to be signed in Kuwait that values 100,000 KD or more. Usually about public works or supplies for any public institution. So for that department, over the past 2 years, has saved around 48 million Kuwaiti dinars.
That's great. Good to hear that.
Okay.
What else? You have maybe 2 more things? You said
2 more.
4? Yeah.
Yeah, 2 more. On the post-audit work, each chief auditor or chief audit team member creates a risk assessment for the institution before he plans his before he audits the firm. So what he does is he looks at the internal controls weaknesses and areas where corruption may occur, so he can investigate them further and improve their structure.
Very good. What about the 4th main one?
Okay. Lastly, our bureau as a whole, we always want to have a professional workforce. So we promote ongoing education, whether trained within our institution, like locally or abroad, and the promotion of professional certificates such as the CPA or the CFE or the CFA.
Yeah, doing a great job. I mean, a lot of great things going on at the State Audit Bureau right here in the state of Kuwait. A very successful seminar held once again. And how can the topics discussed in the seminar, in your opinion, Yusuf, contribute to the development of the State Audit Bureau and the institutions? Okay.
In general, these kinds of seminars or agreements are held in many institutions around the globe. It's for the increase of cooperation and exchange of information between different audit bodies. They include case studies. They increase.
What do you mean by case studies? Tell us more.
Okay, case studies by meaning more practical cases of either financial or administrative corruption. To know the methods and tools that were used in order to find this type of corruption and then have it investigated further by investigatory bodies. And we also even exchange how our reports are even formed when reporting about types of corruption, whether inside an institution or even a state-owned company. Okay,
so a lot of good things going on, and coming towards the end of our interview this evening, Yusuf, do you have any last words or comments for the audience watching Hala Kuwait tonight?
I would like to thank you and all the viewers and all the staff that aren't on screen for all the hard work they've done. They have done.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you on our program, Yusuf, and We wish you and all your colleagues at the State Audit Bureau all the best of luck in your future endeavors. Thank you so much for coming.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much, Tariq, for having me.
Thank you. It was a pleasure speaking to you. We're speaking to Yusuf Badr al-Tahir, and he's an assistant auditor in the company's audit department at the State Audit Bureau of Kuwait. We thank him so much for his time with